what we would like to do is basically not to repeat the session of this morning as such, and there is well, if you've heard what Tunja has been saying this morning, he's basically given a summary of how his teacher trainees, his students basically, they are students to become English language teachers, how his teacher trainees have taken up virtual worlds over the many years, the many projects he's been doing, besides building 2 islands in Second Life next to ours, and how these students have then won awards. They've been granted scholarships, they've started to do some master programs in virtual worlds, and how that has even spanned basically other faculties outside the English language teaching training department. It involved mathematics, it involved master students of any color. So who has been here for the keynote this morning? Could I just ask you in the audience? Yes. Okay. So let me just give you a round of a little presentation. It's unfortunate it's not too long as regards to the outcomes of the project. I'd like to paste some text in the text chat for those who have difficulties hearing. So here is, we'll start with this one. And Tunja, by all means, if you're happy to come in. So GUINEVERE is about to learn a language in a virtual world. GUINEVERE stands for Games Used in Engaging Virtual Environments for Real-Time Language Education. And Project Coordinator. Project. So this is what. Oh my. Nice one. I've been too fast, sorry. No, the slides are not in order, I'm afraid. Okay. So, project coordination is the University of Central Lancashire in the UK, and then the project partners are mentioned here on this slide, and they are the University of Istanbul, as Tunja is representing here. It's EUL, that is, well, apart from for EUL is the Italian University Online. Then we have my own self, Let's Talk Online in Belgium, Brussels, and then 3D Less in the Netherlands. So there are basically 3 universities in it and 2 commercial partners. What is the aim of the project? And I'm quite happy to let you read this here. Paste some of it in the text chat if that's all right, because it's a bit of a handful to read, but it includes policies, European policies, so I'll allow you to read this. So have you finished reading? Sorry, I don't want to. Hi, Lavon. Okay, thank you very much. I just would like to let you know what does the European Commission actually do. Thank you. What the European Commission spends basically 300,000 euro on is that's what the intellectual outputs are all about here. So the intellectual outputs are the results of the project, and this is essentially the teacher training course. As you can see, the bottom line, the teacher training course is the outcome. However, in the process of developing this teacher training course, there are some highly recommended documents or papers that have been developed to prepare us for that. One of which is Categorizing of Game, as a document created by Crystal Schneider. And it's a fantastic document that she's produced in order to categorize games that have really been created already. So not only does she list many of the practical examples which have been created by teachers, and I'm saying with screenshots, with scripts, everything. And then she also lists the games with respect to what language level that could teach and what kind of game it is. It's an absolutely amazing resource. This document alone is just worth, looking into Guinevere. And these are the games and virtual worlds, yeah. Another example of the intellectual outputs is a meta study of one of our project partners that's in UCLan, that's Silvia Benini. She's done that one. And that deals with, it is a meta study on studies which deal with gamification, global simulation, and game design. So it's a document, it's a lengthy document which lists all of the studies that have ever been written about gamification. And in this document, she lists not only the studies, but also the short summaries of the content of each study. And that's so comprehensive, it's amazing. This document alone is fantastic. And then other documents are teacher training guidelines. Guidelines, for example, for security issues, such as how to deal with griefers, how to set the word settings prior to inviting the students. And as we're dealing in, I'll speak about this in a minute, we will be dealing with various virtual worlds. And also games have been created for the various virtual worlds and the age groups. So here games were produced for the project. Extensive field testing took place with school classes as young as 7 years of age in Minecraft, teenagers in OpenSim, and adult trainees in Second Life. Yes, exactly, Tunja. Exactly. And thank you for typing, because that really helps those impaired, hearing impaired. And thank you for adding this in text chat. Awesome. So the another amazing development is out of this whole lot of intellectual output is an app for vocabulary training, an app which can be edited by teachers, and they can add pictures and videos of virtual worlds and imagery to the app. So vocabulary training in a different new form, and especially editable by teachers. This app is due to come out sometime in summer. So, and mention also, obviously the final goal of this project is the teacher training. That's the last one, yeah. And we talk more about the teacher training because we would like to invite you to be part of it. This vocabulary training through digital narratives. Actually, Tunja, if you wouldn't mind spending a bit of time in text chat just trying to explain this app, because the app alone is just lovely. It's you have given it a fantastic name. meantime, I can just run you through a couple of the environments that we've selected. So here is OpenSim for the teenagers, teenage students, and in our case we had always the problem that many of the learners of our teachers could not enter Second Life, because the Second Life, as you know, is from 16 onwards. So OpenSim for teenage students, Minecraft for young learners, and Second Life obviously for 16 plus or adults. Yeah, and the fact that we cater now finally for these 3 age groups, for these, you know, cater for all of the age groups, is for us fantastic. And I might have to transcribe a little bit myself now, because that's how far the Speakeasy Hunt has gone. So let me show you a couple of these scenes, and I'll browse through relatively quickly. This is our island, Guinevere, in OpenSim, and we have an immersive experience scheduled. It's scheduled for, correct me, Lorivon, when exactly? 11th of April. Fantastic. What time did we put it up? And we all will visit Guinevere Island. There's a quest. We'll do the quest. Yes, immersive experience. Then we have a lot of role-playing set up in OpenSim. And quests. I'm excited as well. I'd love to really see you. And now Minecraft. Minecraft for us, a new environment and a challenging one, because it's so new, so different. It is a real game. So we have not developed games in Minecraft, but we have developed activities to play the game. And these activities could be rebuilding fairy tales, other things. We've got the school classes working on a number of projects. This quest here we built is a spaceship that fell from heaven, you know. So, sorry about this, I was just looking at some of the text chats. So we have, obviously Minecraft is a beautiful, beautiful area for children. We have a lot of fun in Minecraft as well. But then again, we are in Second Life. And in Second Life on EduNation, you'll find quite a number of games set up for you. And quests, yeah, games and quests for language learning. Thank you. That's lovely. In Second Life, of course, we also role play. So role plays, quests, simulations. Role play and simulations go one in hand. I'm showing you a picture here. So the simulation for language learning as well as role play is a very important part for us, the kind of games we were looking at. Quests and board games, funny enough. These are the sort of type of games we've looked at. So now here, and I'm almost at the end of this presentation, to encourage you a little bit to do a discussion. We would like to invite you now, if you can, would be very, very happy for you to join our 2 pilot tests. And the pilot tests are, yes please Joanne, the pilot tests should be with about 20 teachers each. One of them is a self-study course, 4 weeks, on game design, with the result to be able to design a game, but we also take you into OpenSim and Minecraft. There is a free, Minecraft access. 100 minutes. 100 minutes you can access Minecraft for free. And in the second course, the teacher training course, we have a 5-week intensive one. And the self-study course, self-study is mostly videos, but 2 sessions to get into OpenSim and into Minecraft, to get to know it, but mainly just to learn about game design. And the second one, thank you very much, Tunja. And the second one, the teacher training course, that one is to learn how to create games. It's 5 weeks. It's intensive, with lots of synchronous sessions and very involved. Now, we believe both take place in May, and you have to choose one or the other. You cannot do both. But the scheduling is still a little open. Thanks a lot, Tunja. The scheduling is not quite fixed. We have to talk. If anybody of you is interested in joining, we would be very, very delighted. So that brings me almost to the end, to the session. What I would like to offer, though, is a bag of freebies. The purpose of the course, the teacher training course, is to thank you, De Costa, for this question. The purpose of the course is for language teachers to learn how to design games in a low-tech self-study course, or learn to create games in a high-tech teacher training course, which is live and with teacher trainers moderated. You'd love to take one or the other looks. That sounds fantastic. Thank you. That's lovely. Now I've been to IATEFL this week, presented this at IATEFL to invite many language teachers to join us. Di Costa asks, does it require bilingual teachers? If you are a mathematics teacher or a scientist or CLIL or any other, you are most welcome to join. Thank you so much. So here is the bag of goodies I brought along. It is these freebies you get if you send us an email. The research papers, the study on game categories. Further, we have done quite a number of webinars, interesting ones, all around game design. Then self-study course on game design and the teacher training course. Obviously, these are the freebies. You do not need to pay for any of the courses, but we'd like you to give us constructive feedback as to what you thought of it. The papers I mentioned, the webinars. It's just so much that we would like to share. Exactly. Thank you, Tunja. Okay, now we still got about 20 minutes time. Thank you, Mal. Could I ask in the audience who would be interested in joining this course, and what would you sort of expect to get out of the course? Prefer email, actually. Can I give you the email addresses? Oh, the last one has not uploaded for some reason. Good one. Sorry, there was one slide for some reason. It's not. It's not. Oop. Got up there. Yes. Allow me to give you my email address and also Tunja's in text chat, if that's right. I also would like to mention Michael Thomas' email address. Michael Thomas, I mentioned all of those on the last slide, I'm afraid. So not there. Here I am. And if you could contact us here, that would be awesome. So here is Nuno, lovely. So who would like to join? Jazz, that sounds fantastic. And are you a language educator? And Nahiram, oh, wonderful. Nahia, You are an English teacher, aren't you? Joanna can? That's fantastic. Is any of you a language educator? No, you don't have to. No. Fantastic, Jazz. Research skills, awesome. You would love the documents that were created. Absolutely love them. I'm happy to email you. Could you in IM send me your email address? I'd be happy to IM you some of the documents. And Bethany is, I'm an instructional designer who works with faculty. I'd like to help them adopt virtual world with curriculum. Awesome. Bethany, you would like to join as well? That's fantastic. Great. Joanna and Joanne, Kimono, are you? Do you happen to be Japanese by any chance? Bethany is awesome. Wow, 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 wow. And Lux is an EFL teacher at high school. Yes, 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 Lux, we do have your email. That the fact you want to join is fantastic. And Renan, fantastic. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. Oh, wow. I'm thrilled. Definitely. Oh, that makes my day. I'm thrilled. Well, the thing is, the interesting thing is, and sorry if I may say so, I write it down in text chat. This week, I was at the IATEFL conference in Liverpool with 3,000 English teachers. Yeah, 3,000 English teachers from around the world, and we presented this on Wednesday to them. Yeah, and you know, Second Life has been out. Okay, very much out, but we got an amazing response. Yeah. And suddenly they kept saying, oh yes, immersive technologies. The response was overwhelming. I can't tell you why suddenly it changes. Why suddenly the mood seemed to have changed. I don't know. Maybe VR. Because we used to be laughed at every conference, to be honest. Yeah? Nahi, you did a similar course 10 years ago. Tell us about it, please. Are you on voice? Can you go on voice? Good question, Lux. AR is my favorite versus VR. Very good, Lux. Very good point. Do you want to go on voice, Nahi?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
We hear you.
Hello. Okay. Well, I joined Second Life in 2008 in order to take a course for using virtual worlds in language teaching, specifically Second Life. That was promoted by TESOL International, and we took that course for 7 weeks, I think. And then the following years, you and I were in the same course, but we were the tutors, the mentors. It was an incredible experience, both opportunities as a student, as a learner, how how to use a virtual world for language learning, and also to be a trainer or a mentor, a tutor. It was incredible, and I am still in this world. I'm not using virtual world for teaching, but I am using online platforms, English and Spanish, and I love to design. Now going on to a stage which is designing the design of a game and curriculum design. It was wonderful, and I recommend it to anyone. Thanks.
You would know it to anyone?
I would recommend anyone.
Oh, you would recommend it?
Yeah, yes, to take your course. It's very
That is fantastic. Please do advertise it.
Well,
yes. And have you, Nahi, have you been teaching English in other environments?
yes, but not in virtual worlds. I did it for a while, but then I went because we had connection problems in my country, so I couldn't use it. Yeah, in other platforms like using Skype with different tools.
Okay. Excellent. And is there anybody else in the audience who has perhaps some expectations or some thoughts on this one? Quintus, it's great to see you here. They're old friends. And Merlin, do you have anything to mention here? Don't be shy. Use voice. Merlin and myself, we took the it was then from the University of Seattle in the US. We took an immersive education. Okay. Course of the University of Seattle. Yeah. Seattle, what? No, it was in Washington. Oh, no. Okay, anybody else would like to say something? Tunja? About the course itself? Sorry?
You wrap it up quite well. The only thing that I could add to this is the second course where we will have more expertise and we will have three different environments. And if you want to learn the OpenSim, for example, we'll have people who will assist the teachers on OpenSim. We will have people who will experts like Christelle Schneider, for example, and Carol Weber and yourself on Second Life, for example. So we will have different, of course, Minecraft. I mean, so the teachers will and can choose the environment they want to work with, which is easier for them, and then they can start thinking about creating and designing their own games in these environments. So this is basically what the second and the more technical teacher training will be about. So I think it's going to be great. And
you have to speak a little slower for me to transcribe it.
Okay. Very difficult for me.
Please say it again.
Okay. What we're planning in the teacher training is in a high-tech one. We will have three different environments, and teachers who want to design and create on OpenSim, the teachers who would like to use Second Life for these designs and games, and the teachers who want to use the Minecraft, depending on their students, because if they have younger students, Minecraft is more suitable, and if they have older students, learners, perhaps OpenSim or Second Life, depending on your opportunities, can be decided. So in this context, we'll have different environments where you can learn and where you can create and design your own games for your own students. So this is what I would like to add up to the teacher training course.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tunja. And Tunja and his team are also the app developers. Now, if you can think of an app that supports your work in virtual world, an app that allows you to use the imagery or the videos, for that matter, in kind of a card game type of thing. Well, we called it Gistery. Tunja, can we, it's the stories. There are stories. Can you explain about the app?
These are the GUINEVERE stories. So that's why we call them the Gisteries. So
the app is called Gistery, which I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and we hope that when it is coming out, it's going to be popular among teachers who would like to contextualize vocabulary through virtual worlds, because virtual worlds are really promising in contextualizing basically the language, the vocabulary, perhaps some grammar, perhaps some skills. So we are hoping that in this app the teachers will be able to create their games, if you like, or actually these are going to be digital narratives. So they can create their digital narratives like in the form of riddles and all other stuff. And so I think it's going to be a very nice addition to the outcomes of this project. So right now it's in the developing, and I'm hoping that around the summer, before the summer, we will have the first edition, and we will be able to download it to our mobile devices, and we will start using it. Yes.
Yes, and so we also need you to test this app with
Definitely.
your own content in Second Life, with your own imagery, with that.
Because
does it make sense for those who are not English teachers, Tunja? What do you think?
I mean, that could be depending on any language. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be only English teachers. There could be Spanish teachers. That could be Russian teachers, Arabic teachers, whatever. Because the language here depends on the need of the teacher, of course. But the visuals, they don't possess this language thing. So whatever you create yourself, you can link it to your own language. So in this context, it doesn't have to be only English teachers, of course.
But the question is, earlier somebody asked, even if you're not a language teacher, can you benefit from this, the pilot or the app for that matter? Or does it have to be language learning?
Well, if you can find a way to use digital narrative in your context, yes, of course, because the basic idea here is to be able to create digital narratives. So if you can,
and digital narrative is what exactly?
Digital narrative is when you're putting together different types of media, like videos, like pictures, if you like, and sounds, if you like. So the digital narrative is in the form of any media that you can, any digital media that you can make use of in your device. So in this context, if you can really link it to your own business, yes, of course, why not? Because what we are going to provide is only the tool to be able to create digital narratives out of these virtual worlds.
Yeah, and here Rainan had a fantastic comment here. Certainly learning the concept of game development and digital narratives / storytelling are useful for many educational or other works.
Definitely.
I've never even looked at this like that. Yes, it's the game. It's a digital narrative storytelling. Gistery will be a storytelling app. Useful for many educational other works. Fantastic.
But the actual use of this is going to be that it allows the teachers to create, which is all teachers can create their own material based on and their own narratives based on what they need. But it doesn't have to be that you are using somebody else's. And your students can be the real target in this context.
And Sunil asks, how about a game that teaches people how to tell story? Wow!
That's cool.
Tunja, over to you. You're the app developer.
I think I'm not the actual app developer. We have our people who are doing this, but I'm just helping out with the ideas. What I can see here is in this question is as long as you're teaching any process, because any narrative is basically a process. So you can actually integrate all of these ideas together. Yes, of course, but of course you have to have specific aims in this context.
Yeah, I want you to make things sort of clearer language about the app, because I'm curious myself. I have not voice broke up. I've not been part of the app development, but I've been keenly watching it, because my idea of of the games is transmedia storytelling. Have you heard of this expression?
Well, this is basically
transmedia storytelling.
That's basically, I think that's basically what I previously said. Any kind of media that you can put along the narrative in the beginning, in the process, and then in the end.
Any kind of media. What is that? What does the app take? Doesn't it take pictures only?
Pictures, and yes, of course, you can also put up videos, because they could be
videos also.
Yes, of course, because they can be in the form of YouTube links. So in this context,
embedded. Okay.
You can make use of those as well.
And sounds. Well,
yes,
sound
of course, because the teachers can record some narrative themselves, and the students can have access to them along the way of learning a new skill.
Fantastic.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Rhiannon. So is the capabilities for the audio and video, is that just in the metadata linking to these things, or is it actually going to have some creation capabilities?
We didn't think of creation capabilities, because that would be a huge thing.
Yeah.
And take a lot more time for us to do in the course of a 2-year EU project. But what we thought that it could be very easily linked to the videos outside the environment, because also if you plan to host some of these videos in the app itself, the app itself is going to be huge. So it's I think difficult in this context, in our context at least.
I'm transcribing in a private message.
Okay.
Sorry. Lost it. Jazz says, even for my 4-credit advanced research course, I have students tell the story of how they would research a question of their choosing. Storytelling, very powerful learning tool. Wow. Then Rhiannon says again, so it allows you to curate and tie all of your text, audio, video assets together. Exactly.
That's what we are thinking. That's what we are thinking.
That is fantastic. And Second Life Machinima for content creation. So the videos, as you mentioned, Machinima in the app.
Yes, because Machinima is a tool that can be created in any way, and you can just link to that anyway.
Awesome. Now, even just the fact that the app will allow teachers to edit and add their own content, that in itself is amazing to me. Yeah, amazing. The teachers can add their own content. Hi Anne, lovely to see you. I'm afraid we'll have to wrap it up here with 50 minutes. Thank you so much. I can't wait to contact each one of you for the sending you more information about the courses. I'd love to work with you on this course. You're such a fantastic crowd of knowledgeable, amazing people. Like Laurent said, Bethany, she's awesome. Yes. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. I will create a little note card as well with some details on where and when to start. If we could get together for a course. And I'm just hoping that it will be interesting as a course for those who are not language educators. But we'll see this one. Thank you so much.